Nikki Haley is the United States ambassador to the United Nations. She is in Washington today to host an unusual outing for the New York-based UN Security Council. The group will meet with President Trump at the White House. Ambassador, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you tell us more, everything that we know so far about the arrest and the detention of a U.S. citizen and what we can do about it?
Well, I think right now we're trying to gather information, and of course, this is something we never want to see happen, but I do think that it's North Korea just trying to show their strength again, and what we're going to say is it's just not going to work. And these are challenging times, but it's not one where we're afraid to make a decision, and I think we're going to handle it properly, and I think we'll have to use China to do that.
And what considerations are there about options?
Well, we have to discuss that, and I think that's all part of the discussions that will have to take place. We always want to get every citizen out alive and healthy and make sure that they're being treated properly, and so those are the things we'll start to work on.
Former New Mexico governor has called these detentions he says these are used as a bargaining chip. Do you agree with that, and do you think negotiations are possible at this point?
I think it's absolutely a bargaining chip. I think that's what their intentions are. Whether that's the case or not is something totally different. What we're dealing with is a leader who is flailing right now, and I think what he's trying to do is show his citizens that he has muscle. Whether it's through his rhetoric or whether it's through his actions, that's what he's trying to do. What we have done is partner with China and the rest of the international community to put pressure on him. You saw the Security Council last week condemn North Korea for their testing. I think you're going to continue to see pressure on North Korea. We have said for quite a while now that the United States is not looking for a fight, so North Korea doesn't need to give us a reason to have one. And I think that they're panicking right now.
I know that President Trump spoke with the Chinese President Xi last night. What more does China need to do?
Well, I think China is really in good faith doing quite a bit. They are trying to put pressure on North Korea. What we've said is we want you to put more pressure on North Korea, whether that's with coal, whether that's with oil, whether it's with other sanctions. And I think that they are also talking with the leaders in North Korea and telling them that they don't need to do anything. And so I think China's been a really great friend of ours. And the way they came together with us to do the statement last week showed that we are united against wanting North Korea to stay away from doing any sort of nuclear threats.
I know that the Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said last week that the U.S. is looking to pressure North Korea to re-engage with us on a different footing. What does that mean?
They need to stop misbehaving. I mean, that's what that means is they need to re-engage and not use force to do that, not use testing to do that. We don't want to see a nuclear North Korea. What we've said is they need to not test anymore. They don't need to challenge us with nuclear missiles and talk about how far they can go, and they don't need to challenge our military bases in the area. So I think right now we are not going to talk with North Korea until we start seeing good actions come from them. We've made that very clear.
Which is exactly what they want, a bilateral conversation.
That's exactly what they want, and we're not going to do it, because until they show that they are in good faith not going to test and not use nuclear weapons, we're not going to sit down and appease them by having talks with them. What we will do is continue to work with China to get that message to them.
Ambassador Haley, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much.